Challenges to ethical behavior in today's world. In the contemporary world, ethical behavior is increasingly challenged by a variety of factors stemming from societal, technological, economic, and cultural shifts. These challenges not only test the moral integrity of individuals, but also raise significant questions about the role of ethics in governance, business, and interpersonal relationships. Below are some of the key challenges to ethical behavior in today's world. First, on the influence of technology and social media. The rise of technology, particularly the internet and social media, has created new ethical dilemmas. The anonymity and speed of online platforms have made it easier for people to engage in unethical behaviors such as cyberbullying, spreading misinformation, and violating privacy. Social media algorithms often prioritize sensationalism over accuracy, encouraging individuals to manipulate information for personal gain or attention. Moreover, advancements in artificial intelligence and data collection have raised questions about surveillance, consent, and the ethical use of personal information. Companies and governments face ethical challenges in balancing the benefits of technology with the rights and privacy of individuals. On economic pressures and inequality. Economic globalization has increased competition and created pressures that often lead to unethical practices. For instance, corporations may prioritize profits over environmental sustainability, worker rights, or consumer safety. Sweatshop, exploitation of labor, and environmental degradation are examples of ethical lapses driven by economic incentives. Economic inequality also poses ethical challenges. The widening gap between the rich and the poor can foster corruption, tax evasion, and social injustice. Individuals facing financial strain may be tempted to compromise their ethics to survive or succeed, such as engaging in fraudulent activities or cutting corners in business. On cultural relativism and moral ambiguity. The interconnectedness of the modern world has brought diverse cultures into closer contact, highlighting the complexity of ethical decision-making. What is considered ethical in one culture may be viewed differently in another. This cultural relativism can lead to moral ambiguity, making it difficult to establish universal ethical standards. For example, practices such as bribery, nepotism, or child labor might be accepted or tolerated in certain regions, but condemned in others. Navigating these differences requires sensitivity and a willingness to engage in dialogue, but the lack of clear global norms can create confusion and conflict. On political corruption and lack of accountability. In many parts of the world, political corruption undermines ethical behavior on a systemic level. Leaders and public officials who prioritize personal or political gain over the welfare of their constituents erode public trust and set poor examples for ethical conduct. The lack of transparency and accountability in governance allows unethical practices to thrive, from embezzlement and bribery to the suppression of dissent. Citizens often feel disillusioned and powerless in the face of such widespread corruption, which can discourage them from adhering to ethical principles themselves. On consumerism and materialism. The culture of consumerism and materialism prevalent in today's world places a high value on wealth, possessions, and personal success, often at the expense of ethical considerations. Advertising and marketing tactics frequently exploit vulnerabilities, encourage overconsumption, and prioritize profit over honesty. This focus on material gain can diminish the importance of ethical behavior in both personal and professional contexts. People may justify unethical actions, such as cheating, lying, or exploiting others, as necessary to achieve success in a competitive environment. On ethical challenges in the workplace. Workplace environments often present ethical dilemmas, particularly when there are conflicts between personal values and organizational goals. Employees may face pressure to meet unrealistic targets or comply with questionable practices to secure promotions, bonuses, or job security. Issues such as discrimination, harassment, and favoritism continue to challenge workplace ethics. Additionally, the rise of remote work has blurred boundaries between professional and personal lives, raising questions about productivity, surveillance, and fairness. On environmental concerns and climate change. Environmental ethics have become a pressing issue in today's world, as the impact of human activity on the planet becomes increasingly evident. Governments, corporations, and individuals face moral responsibilities to mitigate climate change, reduce waste, and protect natural resources. However, short-term economic gains often take precedence over long-term environmental sustainability. From deforestation and pollution to overfishing and reliance on fossil fuels, ethical considerations are frequently sidelined in favor of immediate profit or convenience. On decline in ethical education and role models. A decline in ethical education and the lack of strong role models contribute to the challenges of ethical behavior. When ethical principles are not emphasized in schools, families, or communities, individuals may lack the moral foundation needed to make sound decisions. Moreover, the behavior of prominent figures, whether in politics, business, or entertainment, often influences societal norms. When leaders and celebrities engage in unethical behavior without consequences, it sends a message that ethics can be disregarded in pursuit of success. On rapid pace of change and ethical lag. The rapid pace of technological, cultural, and social change often outpaces the development of ethical guidelines. This ethical lag creates uncertainty about how to address new dilemmas, such as the ethical implications of genetic engineering, autonomous vehicles, or the gig economy. For instance, while technologies like AI and machine learning offer significant benefits, their potential misuse, such as biased algorithms or automated surveillance, raises ethical concerns that society has yet to fully address. On individualism and moral relativism. The increasing emphasis on individualism in modern societies can challenge collective ethical behavior. When personal freedom and self-expression are prioritized over communal well-being, ethical responsibilities may be neglected. Moral relativism, where individuals believe that morality is subjective and based solely on personal opinions, can further complicate ethical decision-making. This perspective often leads to a lack of accountability and difficulty in establishing shared ethical standards. In conclusion, the challenges to ethical behavior in today's world are complex and multifaceted, requiring a thoughtful and proactive approach to address them. While technology, globalization, and cultural diversity present unique ethical dilemmas, they also offer opportunities for innovation and cooperation. Promoting ethical education, fostering transparency and accountability, and encouraging dialogue across cultural and social boundaries are essential steps toward cultivating a more ethical society. Ultimately, overcoming these challenges requires a collective commitment to values such as honesty, fairness, compassion, and respect for others.